Hello friends, how are you today? So this video is just going to be about, I just wanted to get on here as quick as I could and talk about my Kundalini Awakening experience and the dark night of the soul. And I'm not sure if they're correlated or if anyone else has experienced them together or what. But basically, this is just my experience with it. So my Kundalini Awakening happened like December 30th, going to sleep, and then going into the morning of December 31st. So it's kind of really perfect timing if you think about it, with kind of shedding the old, and we're going into the year of the snake, which is shedding the old. So if you're on your spiritual awakening journey, then maybe you're experiencing the same thing with, just feeling like the year 2025 is going to be your year. Like this, something big is coming. Something big is coming. There's big changes happening. There's big changes coming. So I just don't know if you feel that too, but I feel like it's just an energy. You can just feel it. There's something coming, something's changing, there's something that is shifting. The consciousness is shifting, and it might not be as many people as you think really, but it's happening. There's people out there that are waking up. But I just want to talk about what happened during my Kundalini Awakening, because I really didn't know much about it at all, and just probably a couple months ago I kept hearing, the people I follow we're talking about Kundalini, and I'm like, what is this Kundalini? What is Kundalini? So I looked it up, and I happened to come on a video from Victor Odo, and he was saying, he kind of described, like, luckily I saw this video of his because it really helped me realize what was going on with me. But he said how it's like a ball of energy, and it like shot through like his chest or his stomach or something, because they say the Kundalini, so if you don't know what the Kundalini is, they say it's like a serpent that lays dormant at the base of your spine, and at some point, like, your soul awakens this energy, and it's an energy that comes through your whole body, and apparently it's like to help accelerate your healing so you can like serve your purpose better and faster on this planet, so you can get to what your purpose is here on this planet. So that's kind of what I gathered. So it's an energy that lies dormant at the base of your spine and like it's coiled like a serpent snake, they say. So that's kind of a lowdown of Kundalini energy. But if you need to learn more, there's videos out there, but there's actually there's not as many videos as I would hope. So that's why I just wanted to get on here and share my experience of what I experienced. So, okay. So I was going to bed on 12:30, okay? December 30th. This is 2024, and we just came into 2025. So anyways, it's January 5th today. So anyways, going to bed, and I'm dozing off. I have on Aaron Doughty's meditation of like shifting to your highest timeline, and I can hear that a little bit, but I'm like half in and half out. I'm like half in, half out, dozing off, and I keep feeling like someone's like trying to break in, or I'm getting like some kind of a negative energy, a feeling of intruders are coming. So I'm trying to open my eyes so I can look at my bedroom door, and like I can't. I feel paralyzed. My body feels paralyzed right now during this, and it's like 2:30 in the morning, and I can see my mirror is across from my bed. At the top of my bed, I have a charging port, and it has a little blue light. So in the mirror, I can see the reflection of this light, and it looks like kind of like a blue flame looking thing. It's a little blurry, but it looks like a blue flame. And that's kind of all I can see when I'm trying to open my eyes. And it's like that. Before you know it, this huge ball of electric energy shoots through into my chest. For me, it came in through my chest, but it shot up and down, up to my head, all the way down. I could feel it going through my legs, my feet, and it was very, very hot. And it's like hot and like electric, like little tingly pins, like needles. And so, I don't know, something came over me that just said, oh, I'm like, what's happening? But I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's supposed to be happening. And I just let it flow, because they say you're really not supposed to fight it. But luckily I had just watched Victor's video about kind of what happened. So I just was a little prepared, thank goodness. So that happened. And then I started having like these, it wasn't like a convulsion, but it's like these very extreme dramatic breaths. And on the in breath, it's like my chest would raise and my arms would go back, and my, like someone was pulling my chest up with a string or something on every inhale. And I was having these flashes of like different scenes, like morphing. They were, hang on, let me see. I just want to make sure I get this right. But it was like just different images that were morphing quickly, and it was very vivid colors, very like dramatic and animated. And so like the first thing I saw was like Ursula from The Little Mermaid, and she was like rising out of the ocean, and like it was a few different things of that I went through, because every inhale, like I'd see different flashes of imagery, and I think that held for a minute, and then I'd exhale and let it all out. And every inhale was a new pictures and images and visions I would get. So that was interesting. And then it went through kind of a period of me going back through childhood, and there was a lot of childhood memories and childhood things and feelings coming back up, like a lot of childhood. And then another interesting like symptom of this was my head. I felt so much head pressure, like so much pressure in my head that my teeth were hurting. I remember my teeth were hurting really bad, and I'm still in this Kundalini energy, like kind of a coma type thing. Like you're gone, you're kind of gone. And so I just remember the pressure, and I thought for a minute that I was like biting my tongue off even. I'm like, I feel so much pressure. I'm like, am I biting down on my tongue? Am I biting my tongue off? Like, what is going on? So that happened. And then at the very end of it, it was I like woke up. I thought I woke up like in my bedroom, but it was a little different. My bedroom was a little different, but I thought I woke up because my dog was crying that he needed to go out. So it was like me getting up to tend to the dog and like get the dog out. But then when that pulled me out of it, I think, thinking the dog needed me. So when I really did wake up, it was like, oh, it was all dark in my room. All the lights were off still, and the dogs were sleeping, so they were fine. So that was like just something that I dreamt, I guess, that, you know, the dog needed me or whatever. But so they say, though, even after you have your Kundalini awakening, that, or the, you know, energy, that moment of the energy and the ball and the moment that it awakens, they say it can still actually last years. They say the whole process can take years of like a roller coaster and highs and lows and dips, and you know, it can take time. And then eventually the energy, I'm sorry, a lot of burps, but I drink kombucha, and so if you know kombucha, it's like fizzy, it's got some fizz to it. But so they say that like at the end of it all, this energy is supposed to come out the top of your crown, the crown of your head, and like release, I guess. So, but during this is just, they say it can be actually a very difficult experience to go through a Kundalini awakening. And then my other part of this was like having the dark night of the soul, which I found a really good podcast on that, or a clip from I think the Andre guy. So I'm going to try to put that in the description of this video. I'll put the link to that because he describes the dark night of the soul very well. Because I'm thinking that too. I'm just like, what is going on? But it's basically like you're shedding your old self, the self that you were here in this 3D world, the image you had built up, the life you'd built up, everything you knew up until this point, up into your spiritual awakening, right? So it's like, that is, you're shedding that. It's like a death. You're dying. It's a death of your old self. But during the dark night of the soul, it's like you're in this void here where your new reality and your new self hasn't quite arrived just yet. So you're kind of just here lingering in this limbo, and you're like doing the healing, doing the intense healing, doing the inner work. But it's like you may have been doing this healing for a while even before the Kundalini happens. And some people might never have a Kundalini energy that happens, but it doesn't mean that, you know, you can't do the inner work, or you're not making progress, or you're not still fulfilling your life's purpose. It's just, that's what I think it's Christina Lopez, something like that. I was watching her as well because she's one of the other few channels that I could find any information about this. It's like, I just don't feel like there's very much information out there for the spiritual awakening, the Kundalini, and the dark night of the soul. So there's not a lot of people that I could find that are really talking about this. So I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and share my experience with it. So I don't know if that maybe will help somebody out there, you know, if you're going through it or experience something like that. Because a lot of people say the Kundalini, it comes through the base of your spine and it like shoots up your spine. But for me, it started with, I swear, that blue ball and that I saw in the reflection in the mirror. Like it came out of that, shot into my chest, and then up my head, down my body, down my legs. It was so hot, tingly. And then I got those almost convulsions, and that's called something also, like Kriya or something. There's a name for the like contortions that you go into. It's like involuntary body movements that come with the Kundalini energy. So, but I have like the rising of the chest with my inhalations, and then very vivid images and flashes and different scenes playing out. And then, yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it was crazy. I'm like, thank goodness I had seen Victor's video before that happened to me, because I would not have known what was going on. And I've been on this whole spiritual awakening journey. Really, it hit me big when I left the second narcissist, because, you know, I was already starting to wake up and realize things probably in 2020, when I feel like there was a lot of awakening happening in 2020. And it's like, yeah, I knew about the food, the poison food, the toxic food, the government, you know, all that. I knew, you know, they're spraying things on us and on our food. And it's like, I knew all of that. There's a lot of things I knew. And then I like struggled with infertility with my ex-husband. And so that got us looking into like the diet and just chemicals in our everywhere, all around us. Your lotion, your shampoo, you know, your deodorant, toothpaste, everything. And your food is a big one. So, you know, I love the Bobby Approved app, so I'm always pushing Bobby Approved, and I'm not sponsored or anything. I don't get anything to say that. I just love the app, and if you don't use it, you should get it. You scan any barcode and he'll say if it's approved or not, because he literally will go through every ingredient in every food. So it's like, if you don't have that, definitely get that, and it'll help you just start being able to at least recognize brands, so you don't have to do it every time. But if you're ever questioning, but you'll get to the point that you know like what food you want, and like you'll know the brands that are safer than others. But anyways, that was my little Bobby plug. So But yeah, I just wanted to kind of quickly share my experience with Kundalini and the dark night of the soul. I don't know, I feel like I may have been going through this dark night thing for a while at this point, because in May is when it all really started for me, when I left the narcissist. So I don't know if there's a correlation for you as well from leaving the narcissist, going through your spiritual awakening. I don't know if you've had a Kundalini awakening yet or a dark night of the soul, but I mean, those could be following for you very shortly. So just depending how far you are, how deep, you're doing the healing, are you doing the inner work, like it's really intense. And a lot of time you end up in isolation, which is where I've been at for pretty much since May. I've gotten out a little, and I've met people, but it's so hard to even go be in the 3D world at this point and live in the 3D world when you're so far spiritually now that it's like you need deep intellectual conversations. You need someone that can reach you on a soul level. That's, it's just so it's not superficial. And sorry, I've really never been a superficial person. It's like I've always known, probably since I was born. Like I've always been just different. I've always had a little bit, of a spiritual gift. Like I've been attuned to the spiritual realm, the spiritual side. I've had psychic visions and abilities. I've heard spirit crossing over, so it's like, I don't know, I've just always known. I've just had that, but I'm also a Pisces. So they do say that Pisces are already more in tune with the spiritual realm, the spiritual side, and just, like we're dreamers. We're just very intuitive. We're very intuitive as Pisces. So it's like pretty crazy. But I don't know if you guys have heard this, but how they say the new year actually begins with the end of the zodiac, which is really in the spring is when the new year begins, which actually makes sense. And I feel like that's when things always start like changing and getting better and looking up, things are blooming, things are coming to life, manifestations are coming in. So it's like, if you're not seeing your manifestations, or if you're not seeing, you're just kind of in a void wondering what's happening, where am I, where's this going? You're not alone. And I think hang in there till like the spring, somewhere in the spring, March, April, I think things are going to start really turning around and looking up. And you just got to keep doing the work, keep doing the inner healing, keep doing the work, and you will get there. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of the path. It's all part of the journey. And you just have to keep going so you can really do your soul's mission and really fulfill your purpose here on this earth in this really short time that we get. It's really just a very short amount of time. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot to accomplish, I think. And a lot of awakening that still needs to be done. And you may be one of the souls that are sent here to assist in the awakening on this planet. So I don't know. I guess that's it. I hope this helps somebody out there. So if it did, leave me a comment, really. I would like to know if you've experienced, oh my goodness, sorry. I'm moving and it's on a rug, and this is just our plug and go setup. We're just going because this is the only way I really can get videos out, because it's just quick and easy. So if I think I'm going to sit down in my podcast room and get all plugged in, it's like it just doesn't happen, and I never end up doing it. So this is what we do now. So yes, sorry, please let me know in the comments where you're at in your spiritual awakening journey. Have you had a Kundalini awakening? Do you feel like you're in your dark night of the soul? Like, where are you? How do you feel? Like, let me know where you're at. So hopefully we can talk about that and others can know that they're not alone either. So if this was helpful, let me know. And you guys just stay strong, hang in there. You know I love you. As always, stay strong. I love you, and you've got this. So I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.